No, so we had a blast. We had the graduation in Silver City for the actual ceremony. We came back here and then we had the party, which went relatively well.
Yes.
But there was an incident.
In the beginning, yes.
We should talk about it.
Yeah.
The people that didn't get to go, or the people that did go, that want to hear about it again. So we were hanging out and we got there early to do decorations. And Laura was, I was in and out. And so at one point I left to get the cake. And I think you know some of the story, but maybe not the beginning of it. Like how
just know that you guys were, or that Laura and Daniela were decorating.
Yeah. And I guess this guy offered to help because it was really windy and things were blowing off of the table. Yeah. And I guess he offered to help put up some decorations. And of course, you know, Laura's like the nicest person in the world. So she's like, yeah, apparently guy was completely normal and very helpful. And I guess at one point during the night, he had gotten a little bit out of hand. And I wasn't there for this part, but I guess he got cut off from drinking because they thought he was drinking too much.
Well, I was told that after they were done setting up that he left for a while and then came back.
Well, he was outside. Yeah, he didn't leave the actual place, though. I think he went around the back. Okay. Because later on, the DJs told me, like, hey, I saw that guy smoking some stuff. So essentially, for the people listening, he got out of hand and they thought he was drinking too much. So they cut him off. He turns on Laura, thinking that she worked there or something. Like, I helped you out, and he used some language I won't repeat. But he ends up getting wild. And everyone comes up to me and like, hey, this guy's drinking too much. So I thought he was drinking too much. I took his bottle. He had a water bottle, but it was like a refillable one that was, you couldn't see it, right? Yeah. So I didn't know what was in there. I thought maybe he was sneaking vodka or something. So I took his water bottle and I just took it away from him and I poured it out. And I remember it didn't have a scent. So I think it was water. Yeah. And that was my first sign. I'm like, all right, like, you know what I mean? Like, he's obviously drinking water. And then I'm like, oh, like, I don't think he is drunk. I think he's on some other stuff. Yeah, and
that's what I thought.
Yeah, his eyes were wide open. He was causing a big scene.
He was really wild. He was just, he was all over the place.
And I asked him politely, I said, hey, man, it's my fiance's graduation. Like, you're causing a lot of trouble. Can you just leave? And he was cussing me out. He was in my face, like, beat me up, mother effer, and da-da-da. And I was pushing him back because I didn't want him to breathe on me. Yeah. And at one point,
a lot of people's face that night.
At one point, I just started laughing, and so I was because I realized there was no communicating with this guy, and I'm like,
it was like talking to a wall. Like,
I told him, hey man, you either got to leave or I'm going to help you leave. And what did he say? He put his hands down and he looks at me and he said, carry me out or something like that.
Yeah, he told you to carry him out.
Carry me out. And I just started laughing. And that was the point where I was like, all right, this guy's like, he's way smaller. There's no point of a fight here.
Yeah, and we kept telling him either you leave on your own or we'll be forced to call the cops.
And the whole time they had the cops on there. Yeah, so they were on their way. I left it alone. I said, stay in your corner. He didn't. He ended up coming back. A bunch of the girls tried talking to him. I was more nervous that he would scratch or bite or do something like that. Yeah. So I was telling people to leave him alone. He ends up getting slowly pushed out by all the people there, right? Like,
I was one of the ones who pushed him out.
Yeah, and then my little brother got in his face too. Tells him, chill out and smoke this cigarette. And he says, don't you ever offer me a cigarette.
Yeah.
And then my little brother tried to fight him. He's like, I'll beat you up. I'm like, what is going on right now?
Yeah, that guy told your brother, he said, don't you ever offer me a cigarette. Cigarettes will kill you. You're trying to kill me. Like, he was definitely off the walls. Like,
yeah, it was wild. The cops ended up
coming. I'm pretty sure he had smoked some stuff that's worse than a cigarette.
Worse
than a cigarette, yes. Yeah. That's the words I'm looking for.
He is right. Cigarettes will kill you. So yes. We'll give him that.
Yeah.
And then so they end up coming, the cops come there. They had him out there for a while. As guests were coming in, like Chris came in and he's like, what's up with the guy outside? I guess he ended up like punching and kicking the cops,
he kicked
cars.
One of the cops.
And they're yelling like, I want to tase you.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was another thing he kept yelling before. He said, call the cops, have them tase me. Tase me. I don't care. And we were all just trying to tell him, like, dude, just calm down. We don't have to call the cops. If you just leave, we can avoid all that.
I will say that is the most calm that I've been in a while. And I gave myself props for it afterwards.
I give you props for that also.
I am not that guy in the past. And granted, I haven't been in a lot of positions to even test that recently. And I've worked really hard on staying calm and like thinking about the moment. It's Laura's graduation. That's all I kept thinking about was like, I don't want to ruin this day for her.
Yeah.
And I afterwards, I'm like, hey, I did pretty well there, man. I never once.
And apparently, like, the guy was in love with Laura, apparently, because he kept saying, oh, I love her. I love her.
Well, he has good taste, that guy. Yeah, he did end up saying that. But look, I really hope he got help. At the end of it, I'm glad that no one in our group like had any physical altercation with him. In the sense that someone got hurt.
Yeah, nobody got hurt. Nothing got destroyed.
Maybe the police officers, like, I don't know. Shout out police. I know they're not in the best light right now, but I really appreciate them removing that person. And I really do hope he got help, because I feel like maybe he did just overdrink, or combination of both. Yeah. He for sure had some other stuff too. Cause that was definitely, I've overdrank a lot in my life, and my eyes don't get wider. They get really small. Yeah. And so I'm like, this guy is out of his mind.
Yeah. He was definitely on something else.
But that was maybe the first hour of the event. Yeah. And then the rest of the 4 hours were super fun.
Yeah,
everyone
amazing.
Had a great time.
Everybody was dancing, everybody had a good time.
Yeah. I would call it a success.
Yes.
Hey guys, if you're enjoying watching these clips, then head over to the description so you can go watch the entire podcast episode, or go to Apple Podcasts or Spotify, search Talk It Up, look for the gold logo, and start watching. Make sure you guys subscribe to this channel as well, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.